going to do is talk just a little bit about why selenite is, what's the makeup, the metaphysical properties of selenite that make it a great energy tool. And the main one is that it gives off fifth dimensional light. That's probably the number one quality. And that light is quite powerful. And Katrina Raphael, in her one of her trilogy books, the first three she did was Crystalline Transmission, which is this particular book right here, Crystalline Transmission. She stated that selenite will be one of the key crystals to help bring in the Age of Enlightenment because of this ability to connect the fifth dimension, which is this angelic, pure love, pure light realm, into the third dimension to help raise the frequency of everything and everybody in that realm up to the fifth dimension and above. So basically, it's a tool that can bring in light into any of those energy matrices. Excuse me. And selenite also has this quality that can balance your chakras automatically. It has the intelligence. So kind of when I first started working, I said, well, I just need to listen to the swords. Let them tell me what to do. How long do I stay? What do I do? Just allow yourself to connect to the selenite, and it will actually help you figure out what to do with yourself and also with anyone else. That other great property that we talked about is selenite magnifies whatever is placed on it many times. So if you put, crushed Lemurian crystals, or you put some phenakite or some other types of crystals on the sword, it will activate those and actually bring it together in an alchemy way in terms of creating something greater than the sum of the parts.
Physical. So it was very interesting, the first light treatment that I had, that all the show hands start dropping in. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, it's Master Thumi. And I said, oh my gosh, it's Archangel Michael. And of course he knows this already. See, I think I'm shocking him. And I turn around and he's like, yeah, yes, that's true. And I was completely shocked, because normally, it would take me a good amount of meditative time, and then I get into that perfect space, and then they all start to drop in. But here, immediately with the swords, I'm experiencing, boom, 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 boom. I'm going, wow, that is amazing. And I had no intention of getting a sword that day. But at that moment, I knew I needed at least one, if not two, before I left.
Of which you got
and which actually, I got a whole bunch. I got a whole bunch to sell on consignment, so that was awesome too. So then, I had a bunch that were like, my little kids for a while. But what I began to realize as I worked with them more and more is that they are intimately linked with the divine rays, in that in the crystal gridding work that I was doing, especially with a lot of the new frequencies that are coming in, each individual grid I would be directed to pull in a specific divine ray, and the swords are just amazing channels of the divine rays for directing and invoking and magnifying the divine rays of creation. So in activating grids, in any in healing work for those of you that are healers, or even for your own personal personal healing, or your personal well-being, or your environment, your home, or whatever. There's times when you'll need certain frequencies, and the swords automatically bring that in. And they do that without your knowledge, but if you have your intention and you combine it with that, wow, that's complete magic. So each one of the 7 rays is an aspect of creation. So depending on what the imbalance is, this particular grid, which I'll go into later, it harnesses the first ray, which is will and power and, it's strength. So, there's a lot of us that need that. We need that protection, and we need that will, and we need that energy in certain parts of our life. So, by using the swords, intentionally we can magnify that kind of energy. And then also the light beings and the ascended masters and also the archangels are really strongly linked with the swords and the rays. So then they come in to magnify that even more. And wow, it's such a powerful healing combo. So what we can do in this timing is just amazing stuff. Body activation grid. Actually, it's a rainbow light body activation grid. So they've been switching some things around. More information's been coming in over the past 24 hours, so it's really nice. I'm really happy how everything's coming along. So you're going to notice this morning I'll be doing several things, and then later on when we get into the hows and whys of grid making and some ideas on ways that you can empower and how you can create magical grids, you'll understand a little bit further about the steps that I'm going to go through. But in essence, I will begin by anchoring the 4 directions. So I'll call in the energies of north, south, east, west, and I'll also call in the archangels to anchor in those directions. It's an extra step that you can add or not add if you wish. I also will call in the energy of the heavens, and then also the earth, and then also the sacred center, which is our heart. So when we do that, we're anchoring all of the dimensions and creating a vertical access, so we have access to the higher dimensions of light and love, and grounding that all the way into the earth. So that's how I'll start, and then you'll notice that I will be activating each of the crystals in the star pattern in the center. So it's an 11-pointed star, so I'll be activating the outer 11 star, and then the inner star there that I'll talk about a little bit earlier is basically a directional star. So when it's north, south, east, and west with the midpoint directions. So you see it's a cross, and then I also have the midpoints honored as well. So I'm addressing those when I'm calling in the directions at the beginning. And you'll hear me doing some toning and then also directing energy. And then later on, when we cover the instructions for gridding, you'll understand a little bit further about the process.
So we'll do the activation, and after that, everybody will introduce everybody and make sure everybody knows who's here.
To the powers of the east, I call you to the circle. I call on Archangel Raphael. Call upon the element of air. Teach us, heal us, show us your ways.